My wife got addicted to the gym, and she now uses it to escape stress. She was pregnant, and I discovered that she was texting another man. Later, she admitted to being intimate with him. After that, a paternity test revealed that the baby isn't mine. My wife is 30 years old, and she has always been someone who prioritizes fitness and has consistently maintained a healthy lifestyle. However, recently, I have started to feel that her dedication to working out is becoming excessive and potentially unhealthy. In the past, during her college years, she regularly attended a gym and was deeply engaged in fitness. At some point, she decided to stop going to the gym. I believe this change was primarily due to her busy schedule. Instead, she preferred to work out at home or go for runs outdoors. About 18 months ago, she made the announcement that she was determined to get back into the habit of attending the gym. Her new job allowed her to allocate more time to exercise. Initially, her gym visits were reasonable, but over time, her frequency increased dramatically. She began signing up for fitness classes on both weekend days, and soon, she was going to the gym every single day. What began as a healthy routine quickly evolved into an almost obsessive behavior. She started to work out in the mornings before going to work, then again later in the evening. Whenever she experiences stress or goes through a challenging situation in life, she runs to the gym for relief. If we have a disagreement or argument, her immediate response is to escape to the gym rather than addressing the issue with me. This pattern has become increasingly concerning. At this point, I need to mention that my wife is currently 4 months pregnant. I am genuinely surprised that we found time to conceive a child, given her intense commitment to fitness. I understand that it is generally safe for her to continue exercising during pregnancy, especially since she had already established a routine before becoming pregnant. However, her workout intensity does not seem to be diminishing, which raises red flags for me. When she misses one of her regular gym sessions, her irritability escalates significantly. It is reminiscent of an individual struggling with an addiction, like a person experiencing withdrawal symptoms. It is genuinely bizarre to witness, as it seems she is experiencing a classic case of having too much of a good thing. Naturally, when I express my concerns about her behavior, indicating that I feel it is morphing into an unhealthy obsession, she becomes upset. I miss spending quality time with her because she is at the gym for so many hours each day. She has developed a social circle there that she appears to prefer over our relationship. I have suggested that we work out together at the gym, but she insists that the gym is her personal time. This situation is not born from insecurity on my part. I maintain my fitness and ensure that I stay in shape because my job demands it. Therefore, it is not a case of me feeling inadequate next to her toned physique. I genuinely believe her gym habits are unhealthy for a variety of reasons. For one, she is engaging in excessive exercise, which can lead to negative physical and mental health consequences. More importantly, I feel that her fixation on the gym is becoming a means of escaping from the various challenges she faces in life. Rather than addressing and resolving issues as they arise, she seems to seek refuge in the gym to obtain a temporary mood boost. This pattern is concerning because it leaves many practical matters unaddressed, as she spends so much time away from home. As a result, I find myself managing all the household chores. If meals are to be prepared, I am the one responsible for it. While I do not expect her to take on all these responsibilities, I believe there should be a shared effort in maintaining our home and our life together. People in our social circle have even begun to comment on the changes they have observed in her. They have noted how different she seems and have mentioned that she appears to be at the gym more than ever. Some friends and family members have expressed concerns, suggesting that she might be having an affair with someone at the gym. Please tell me that this does not sound normal to you. My wife insists that her behavior is perfectly acceptable and justifiable. Date 1. I posted not too long ago about my wife's seemingly obsessive commitment to the gym, which I believe borders on addiction. She spends the majority of her free time there, often attending twice a day, and sometimes even 3 times if we have an argument in the evening and she needs to escape instead of confronting me. She has drawn a clear line between her gym and my gym. She refuses to let me join her at her gym, just as she refuses to accompany me to mine. According to her, her gym is her territory, and mine is mine, and that is how it must be. I have invited her multiple times to work out with me, but each invitation has been declined. Currently, she is approximately 18 weeks pregnant. This will be our first child together. Prior to her pregnancy, she was incredibly dedicated to her workouts, and this intensity has only continued now that she is expecting. Initially, I was not concerned about the possibility of infidelity. When people suggested it in the last thread, I dismissed it. After all, she spends significant time at the gym and is in excellent shape, which indicates that her workouts are her primary focus. When I posted 9 days ago, I was confident in her fidelity. However, after reading many comments on my previous post, I started to doubt my confidence in her loyalty. She typically keeps her phone close by, but one day, she left it on the kitchen counter. Feeling guilty but curious, I quickly glanced at her text messages. To my shock, I discovered an ongoing conversation with a man whose name I recognized. He is someone from the gym she frequently mentions. She has built friendships with several individuals there, even attending one of their weddings last fall. I felt a surge of anger as I read through the texts, which were inappropriate. I never intended to invade her privacy in such a way, but my emotions took over. When she returned, I confronted her about the conversation. Her reaction was explosive. She yelled at me for looking at her phone. I expressed my concerns about her unusual behavior and how her gym obsession was troubling me. She insisted that it was nothing, yet it certainly appeared to be something significant. I wanted to know if she had engaged in physical relations with this man. She vehemently denied it, which led me to a state of rage. In a moment of impulse, I threw her phone to the ground, shattering it. She reacted by striking me on the back as hard as she could, which only fueled my anger. Feeling overwhelmed, I left the house and went to my brother's place. My brother and sister-in-law were taken aback by my situation, especially since my sister-in-law has been one of the most vocal about my wife's gym obsession. Upon returning home, I found my wife in bed, crying. She attempted to evoke sympathy, claiming she was unsure if I would ever return home. I was not fooled by her tears. I decided to take her phone for repairs. She does not deserve my kindness, but I still felt guilty about breaking her phone. I am left questioning how deep the situation goes. She continues to deny anything beyond what I discovered. Was there emotional infidelity or more? I cannot help but believe that there is more to the story, yet she refuses to surrender her phone. Now, she is attempting to portray me as the villain for breaking her phone. It is not my proudest moment, but I felt completely justified in my anger. I have never, nor would I ever, physically harm her. Update 2. Today, my wife asked me to stay home from work so we could have an important discussion. Yesterday, she had remained in bed all day, trying to elicit my sympathy. I ignored her attempts and chose to go to my family's Super Bowl party instead. It infuriated her that I would leave during such a tumultuous time. She sent me messages questioning how someone could be so cold and callous. Today, I chose to stay home to address her concerns. She was distraught, shedding tears, and expressing her regret. According to her, her trips to the gym were motivated by enjoyment and the company of friends. It was a fun escape for her. She revealed that she had met this man at the gym, who had begun to flirt with her. He is one of the most popular guys there, and she confessed that she had unwittingly flirted back. She described her feelings as reminiscent of a school crush, exciting and giddy. Initially, their communication was friendly and platonic, but as time passed, the flirting intensified. Eventually, she revealed that they shared a kiss and that they slept together for the first time later that evening. She acknowledged that while she enjoyed it, she also felt guilt over her actions. My heart sank as I listened to her confessions. She expressed uncertainty about her feelings. Was she in love with him? She did not know. When discussing the pregnancy, she expressed that she believed the baby was mine, but also acknowledged that there was a slight chance it could be his since they had been intimate around the time I conceived. She professed her love for me but admitted that there was an undeniable spark between her and the other man. In a shocking moment, she asked, "You would really leave me if it is not your baby, would you?" I was taken aback by her audacity. I told her, of course, I would leave her and that I would not raise another man's child. She appeared genuinely shocked by my response. I reiterated that I would never consider staying. She agreed to undergo a paternity test, tearfully accepting the idea as if it were some kind of punishment for her. I could not comprehend her thought process. I believe I am doing the right thing by wanting to know the truth. My wife expressed her desire to work through this together, but I am at a crossroads. I feel as though I have lost everything I cherished. My mind is racing with thoughts of whether I can forgive her betrayal. There is so much pain that it feels insurmountable. As I sit here writing, I find it difficult to understand how I can move forward. Update 3. I've taken some time to process everything. It feels surreal, almost like I'm in a dream that I can't wake up from. The reality of what's happening is a heavy burden on my chest. I'm grappling with feelings of betrayal, anger, and a profound sense of loss. After the conversation, I distanced myself from her, needing space to think. My heart is heavy with conflicting emotions, especially since I've never envisioned my life without her. I keep revisiting our past together, the love we shared, the moments we celebrated, and the dreams we built. The question of paternity looms large over us, like a dark cloud that won't dissipate. I've done my research and understand that the paternity test can provide clarity, but the emotional implications of the results are daunting. What if the baby isn't mine? The thought of raising another man's child feels unbearable. Can I still love this child if it turns out to be his? The anger still bubbles beneath the surface. I want to confront her again, to force her to face the gravity of her actions. But I also know that this could lead to further conflict, and I'm already exhausted from the turmoil. I confided in my best friend about the situation. He was shocked, to say the least, but he reminded me that I need to prioritize my mental health and the health of the child, regardless of the circumstances. He suggested I seek therapy to navigate this labyrinth of emotions. Part of me feels like I should tough it out on my own, but I also recognize that professional guidance could help me make sense of everything. Meanwhile, my wife has been reaching out to me more frequently, trying to engage in conversations about our future. I've been hesitant to respond fully. She seems genuinely remorseful, but I can't shake the feeling that it's too little too late. I want to believe that she understands the weight of her actions, but I find it hard to trust her again. Update 4. I went to therapy yesterday for the first time. It felt strange to open up to someone I barely knew, but I realized I needed an outlet. The therapist listened intently as I poured out my heart. They helped me understand that my feelings of anger, betrayal, and confusion were valid. It was refreshing to have someone affirm my experience, and I felt a little lighter after sharing everything. During our session, we explored the idea of boundaries. I expressed my frustration with how my wife has been treating our relationship. The therapist suggested that I establish clear boundaries, especially regarding how we communicate moving forward. They emphasized the importance of maintaining my mental health, regardless of the outcome with the baby. After my session, I decided to reach out to my wife. I needed to know how she was coping with the aftermath of our last conversation. To my surprise, she was calm and willing to listen. We agreed to meet in person to talk things through. When we met, the atmosphere was heavy with unspoken tension. She seemed anxious yet hopeful. As we began to talk, she reiterated her love for me and her desire to repair our relationship. I could see the sincerity in her eyes, but I also noticed the fear lurking beneath the surface. Fear of losing me, fear of the consequences of her actions, and fear of the unknown regarding the baby. We discussed the paternity test and agreed that we would take it as soon as possible. I emphasized that this step was crucial for both of us to move forward. She nodded, tears streaming down her face as she confessed that she felt lost without me. In that moment, I was torn. Part of me wanted to comfort her, but another part was steadfast in my conviction that she needed to feel the weight of her choices. As the conversation continued, we touched on the future. If the child is mine, what would that mean for our relationship? If it's not mine, would we even have a future? It was an uncomfortable but necessary discussion. She promised to be honest and transparent moving forward, but I reminded her that trust is something that must be earned, not given freely. Date 5. The day of the paternity test arrived, and the anticipation was almost unbearable. My heart raced as we sat in the waiting room. I could sense the weight of uncertainty hanging over us. We both knew that the results would forever change the course of our lives. After what felt like an eternity, the nurse called us in to take the test. I tried to maintain a facade of calmness, but inside, I was a storm of anxiety and dread. My wife squeezed my hand tightly, and for a moment, we shared a silent understanding, a recognition of the gravity of the situation we were in. In the days that followed, I found myself caught in a whirlwind of emotions. I oscillated between hope and despair, replaying every moment of our relationship in my mind. I wanted to believe that we could emerge from this stronger, but doubt gnawed at me relentlessly. On the 5th day after the test, the results came in. My heart felt like it was about to leap from my chest as I opened the email. I scanned the words, searching for clarity, and when I found it, my world shattered. The child was not mine. In that moment, everything changed. I felt a surge of rage, betrayal, and sadness crashing over me like a tidal wave. I remembered all the moments we had shared, the love we had built, and the dreams we had envisioned for our future. They all felt like a lie. I confronted her with the results. Her reaction was visceral. She broke down completely, sobbing uncontrollably as she grasped the reality of what this meant. As her tears fell, I felt a mix of anger and pity. I wanted to scream, to throw her words back at her, but I remained silent, watching as the life we had constructed crumbled before us. When she finally regained some composure, she pleaded with me to reconsider our relationship. She spoke about the love we had and how she wanted to fix things. But deep down, I knew the truth. How could I possibly trust her again? How could I ever feel secure in our relationship knowing that she had chosen to betray me in such a profound way? Update 6. It's been a week since the results came back, and everything has changed. I feel as though I am living in a nightmare that I cannot wake up from. Each day is filled with reminders of what once was, and I find myself drifting further away from the person I once loved so deeply. My wife has been desperately trying to reach out, attempting to mend the wounds of our shattered relationship. She continues to express her remorse and guilt, but her words feel hollow. How can I trust a person who has so blatantly disregarded our vows? I want to believe her when she says she made a mistake, but the reality is that she hurt me in a way that is irreparable. I've started to seek support from friends and family, those who have witnessed the evolution of our relationship. Their responses have ranged from shock to outrage. Many have voiced their concerns about her behavior and suggested that I should take time to consider what I truly want. It feels good to have a support system, yet there's an undeniable loneliness that lingers in my heart. Amidst this chaos, I made the decision to move out temporarily. I need space to reflect on my feelings and what the future holds. I've rented a small apartment where I can find some semblance of peace. The silence is both comforting and agonizing. I have time to think without the distractions of our shared life. As I sit here, I'm reminded of the dreams we once had. The family we envisioned is now tainted by betrayal. My heart aches for the life we were building together. The weight of the future presses down on me as I consider what comes next. Do I attempt to salvage what's left of our relationship, or do I walk away entirely? Each option feels heavy with consequences, and I don't know where to turn. At the end of the day, I want to heal, but I'm unsure if I can ever fully recover from this. Only time will tell if we can find our way back to one another or if this chapter in our lives has come to a definitive end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more interesting stories and perspectives, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Don't miss out on more interesting videos. Click the video on your screen to check out my previous interesting content. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. See you in the next video.